All right, Jack, lock in with me. TOSH.O versus Ridiculousness. I don't understand how the fuck this was a versus. I never even knew about this shit. Lock in with me, though.
As a friendly competition over two similar TV shows escalated quickly when Rob Dyrdek threatened Daniel Tosh. Then again, Tosh joking about Rob being a PDF file was potentially taking things too far.
My brother in Christ, potentially? Listen, bro, there's a difference between you being a Drake and not being a Drake, bro. There's two different things, bro. You can't be joking like that. Like, you feel me? You can't be joking about being a Drake. You can't, bro. No one wants that, my nigga. No one wants to be in the same category as that at all, bro.
You want to apologize for what? You being a bitch?
The Ridiculousness vs. TOSH.O beef was surprising because both of these guys are generally well-liked, but their polar opposite motivations for creating a comedy clip show was the perfect recipe for disaster. Rob once said, "I try to seize every opportunity I can. I've already filled my bucket list many times over. Business is my passion." Rob's life has been seemingly a never-ending stairway to success, becoming a professional skateboarder as a teenager, starting his own skateboard accessory company, designing a shoe that generated him $300,000 per year in royalties, founding a hip-hop record label, doing magazine covers, wearing iced-out Rolexes, teaming up with his security.
Maybe I must be young, very young. Okay, but somebody let me know. When the fuck did Rob Dyrdek, whatever the fuck, when the fuck did he do half of this shit?
Guard to produce and act in Robin Big, an MTV reality show that stole the hearts of millions of fans around the world, only to follow that up with another banger of a show called Fantasy Factory, which was literally a show about him pursuing new business ventures while messing around with his friends. He even became a stuntman, jumping a speeding car backwards, barrel rolling a Chevy Sonic, and getting mauled by a tiger. Rob
Never mind. This is other color shit. Like, why would you? Never mind. You know what? Teach your own, bro.
Documented his exhilarating life, elevating his public persona while leveraging his celebrity status to secure a multi-million-dollar fortune. Daniel Tosh, on the other hand, once said, "Stand-up is the only thing I have ever been good at, and even that depends on who you ask." While Rob was steamrolling through life, accomplishing everything his heart desired.
Is that Carmelo? What the fuck?
Daniel Tosh was merely focused on one thing, building a comedic legacy.
So
I waste so much time in my life.
So comedian
I could
versus...
have accomplished so much more, but I have no dreams, like real dreams. I sit at home thinking about, how come nobody with a Lamborghini ever pulls up next to me and is like, "Hey man, you want this car?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Yes! I got a Lamborghini today."
Tosh got his start hosting a show called Tens for a local television station called Whammy in Miami, Florida, where Daniel would interview and mock the best-looking guys and girls on South Beach. He moved to Los Angeles in the late 90s and performed short stand-up sets in comedy clubs to slowly build his reputation. In 2001, he got a spot
what the fuck was,
on The Late Show with David Letterman, which helped him become a recognizable face in the comedy scene.
You think it's trendy for young kids in Japan to get tattoos of words written in English?
With that momentum, he was able to book comedy shows around the country, with a majority of those being held at universities. From there, he launched his first special in 2003 on Comedy Central.
That's a game I used to play as a child. The floor is lava. It's when you'd climb on all the furniture in your house and you couldn't touch the floor. Yeah, you might have called it something completely different, but it meant the same thing. You were poor. Yeah, because I remember going, "Mom, I would like a Nintendo." And she's like, "The floor's lava." I'm like, "What the hell is wrong with our house? Why can't we afford carpet? It's called two jobs."
Tosh simply focused on mastering his craft for years, working on material to gear up for the release of his second Comedy Central special,
So he's been killing it along with...
I was watching the country music channel the other day and I fell asleep and I woke up racist.
As we entered 2008,
I was watching the country music channel the other day and I fell asleep and I woke up racist.
As we entered 2008, YouTube and Facebook were slowly taking over pop culture, with random hilarious videos going viral every day. Comedy Central brainstormed an idea for a comedy clips show, and Tosh was a master of short, punchy jokes. Combine that with a fearless approach to controversial topics, an immense cult-like following of college kids, and devilish good looks, Comedy Central knew he was their star. TOSH.O debuted in the summer of 2009 and focused on showcasing viral internet videos, memes, social media content, and and trending topics,
That's what I'm saying.
accompanied by
TOSH.O
Tosh's
and, like,
satirical
Ridiculousness
commentary
were,
and
like, the same
often
thing to me,
controversial
bro.
humor.
So I came up with a list of brand new terms that have absolutely no racial connotation whatsoever. I field tested them with an extremely diverse focus group. Sugar taster.
That's a little offensive.
What do you think sugar taster means?
I don't know. I don't know why you think that he tastes sugar.
Why do you keep pointing to the black person? That's what
They?
The concept of this show is not really original. Before Tosh, you had The Soup, hosted by Joel McHale, Web Junk, hosted by Patrice O'Neal, and even YouTuber Ray William Johnson laid the foundation for Equals 3 slightly before Tosh. Now, most clip shows rely on the clips themselves to produce the humor, almost removing the need for a host in the first place. And while Tosh did find good content that is funny, shocking, or absurd on its own, more often than not, it was his jokes and commentary that actually made the clips funnier.
Seems you guys finally pushed the foremost authority on style past his breaking point.
This video is for all you stupid f***ing trolls and haters online, saying mean and hurtful things about fedoras.
You're not the only cool guy whose hat game has been mocked.
You wish you could pull off a cloche.
What the fuck?
You imbeciles know nothing of this hat.
But what made TOSH.0 stand out from all the rest was the iconic web redemption segment he would do at the end of every episode. Tosh would invite one of the individuals who became viral for embarrassing or cringeworthy moments on the show for a chance to redeem themselves. He would interview them with his signature sarcastic humor and allow them to share more details behind the viral clip, then finalizing the bit with a reenactment of their viral moment with an absurd or comedic twist. He brought on classic internet stars like Welvin, D's Nuts the Great.
Yo, what the fuck?
Carl? No, Malone.
No, what's Malone?
Malone.
Oh, you long. I got it.
He also brought on pretty much every iconic local news viral sensation: Sweet Brown, the I Like Turtles kid, and Antoine Dodson.
You are really dumb.
What do you know about you?
They know I'm openly gay. That's mainly what I want to get out. I don't give.
That you're gay? I think people knew that about 1 second into your video.
No.
And even though this was just a clip show, clearly sketch comedy was where Daniel Tosh thrived. The first season of TOSH.0 was a surprise hit and averaged more than 1 million viewers per episode. But then it got even bigger. The second season averaged nearly 2 million total viewers and was the most watched show in its time slot among men 18 to 24 and men 18 to 34. TOSH.0 was absolutely taking over. Little did he know he had some competition on the horizon.
So that's what I'm saying. Both of these were literally, one was just on MTV, the other was just on Comedy Central, bro. These both were literally the same thing to me.
Dyrdek, who was equally loved, was about to launch Ridiculousness, a show that was suspiciously similar to TOSH.0.
Bro.
Even though Ridiculousness premiered 2 years after TOSH.0, Rob claims he actually came up with the idea 4 years prior and even sold it to MTV.
Now I was doing both of them at the same time, so I actually sold them both at the exact same time.
They bought 2 shows from you at one time.
Because originally I read the article like in 2007 of Vinny DeBona's $500 million global syndication of America's Funniest Home Videos, and was like, man, like I need to make that. I should just make the cool version of America's Funniest Home Videos.
While TOSH.0 was optimized to make people laugh, Ridiculousness was optimized to make money. In 2008 and 2009, Rob spent most of his days filming episodes for Fantasy Factory, and they just took a lot of time. Planning extravagant stunts like jumping a speeding car backwards would take months of planning and preparation. Now,
months, nigga. That takes damn near bro, you can't just jump shit backwards, bro. Especially in a small, I don't know, maybe I'm stupid.
TV was paying him $125,000 per episode, so a little more effort was worth it. But they only offered to pay him $30,000 per episode for Ridiculousness.
You got offered less.
So from a business perspective, he wanted to spend as little time working on that show to maximize his revenue.
Just such a nightmare, and I'd be there all day, to where now I shoot 8 of them in under 5 hours, right? So it's a much more highly optimized, efficient machine. And then for me, it takes very little energy and time to execute it, and it's sort of brand neutral. A lot of people don't even know if I still film them. You know what I mean? They don't even realize I shoot 336 brand new ones every single year, you know.
However, many critics believe that this business model negatively impacts the quality of the show. Ridiculousness is about as basic of a clip show as it gets. Rob hosts alongside Sterling Stilo Brim and
Hey, listen, bro, I could not be the only one who wanted to tear her up I could not be the only one who wanted to take her ass complete. What's her name again, bro? Hold
Basic of a clip show as it gets. Rob hosts.
It was just that little annoying ass laugh she would do damn near every time. That laugh would fuck me up. I'm not gonna lie, but y'all, I can't be the only one. I forgot her name. I swear to God, I did forget her name. I cannot be the only one that would have been like, hey, listen, man. Dr. Umar would have dead ass had to forgive me, cause nigga, I was going in that bitch with no coat on, nothing. I was straight plunger in this motherfucker. Ooh, listen, my childhood mom, when I seen this shit, don't judge me, nigga.
Alongside Sterling Stilo Bram and Chanel West Coast. They play viral internet videos, often featuring people's outrageous, embarrassing, or downright bizarre antics grouped together in themed segments.
You can get too much air, right? And as someone that spent his whole life flying through the air,
if I did, I should have played the clip
too
a
far and you
little
get
further. I would have known.
Just like everybody in this category,
No,
TMA,
you feel me? Like, come on,
too
look at
much
that.
air. Got it. Keep going, bro. Man,
That's some rough water to land in.
Man, it's just rough altogether. You got to.
What are you doing?
Like about right here, it's time to bail out.
It really is.
Okay.
You gotta let go. Why are you this high in the air?
Man, and you were about to start going down. You bailed at the wrong time.
There is no scripting and very little rehearsal. Rob essentially goes on set, does a sort of freestyle reaction to whatever he is watching, which usually results in him just laughing or highlighting exactly what the viewer just saw.
What's up, though? Oh,
she don't want no siblings.
Man, not only that, but he can't even get up to punish her. She said, ah.
Occasionally, Rob will invite a celebrity guest on who also tends to give a basic, raw reaction to the content.
Look how she, bro, you know she fuck with niggas, man. She don't need none of this. She need all type of nigga in her.
Howie Mandel recalled his experience being on the show.
So I went in, I walked right onto the set. They said roll. I was out of there. It's a half-hour show? Is it? I think I was out of there in 40 minutes.
Season 1, Episode 1 of Ridiculousness aired on August 29th, 2011, and started off hot, averaging about 2 million viewers per episode. That made it extremely competitive with TOSH.0's viewership, so he decided to say something. Tosh tweeted, "Congrats, Rob Dyrdek. New show looks very funny and familiar." Dyrdek fired back, "Thank you so much, Daniel Tosh. Maybe later this week, you, Bob Saget, and Tom Bergeron can come down to my factory and play." This sarcastic back and forth between the two seemed harmless, but secretly, Tosh was plotting his revenge on Rob. Shortly after their online exchange, TOSH.0 dedicated an entire...
That nigga was plotting. That motherfucker said, "Get back finna definitely be a motherfucker."
web redemption segment to trolling Rob. Tosh interviews his guest, who was a skateboarder that was struck by a vehicle in his viral video, only to find out that they are conducting the interview in Tony Hawk's pool.
Got to. You got to get back up on that rail.
Hey, you kids, how many damn times I gotta tell you to quit draining my pool? Now fill it back up or I'm calling the police.
You always been this cranky old man, Hawk?
You kids are wasting your lives. No one's ever made a living riding a skateboard. Now get! Suck it!
Tosh bringing Tony Hawk into a sketch dissing Rob Dyrdek is Drake-level pettiness. Anyways, Tosh brings his guest to a skate park inside of a warehouse called Daniel's Childish Dreams Factory for Young Boys Only, which is quite literally the exact same building as Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory, but with the sign covered. Tosh is dressed exactly like Rob, wearing a zip-up hoodie, a flat brim hat cocked sideways, while holding 2 puppies.
Welcome to my Childish Dream Factory for Young Boys Only.
It's a lot like the Fantasy Factory.
No, it doesn't. This is my own original idea that I had years ago before he did.
Oh my God.
I was just too busy with other projects to see it through. This place is awesome.
He was
got
definitely
everything you could ever
being petty
want.
for this
If
shit.
the only thing you ever wanted was to hang out with 12-year-old shirtless boys.
Throughout the sketch, Tosh acts like a creep towards the little boys, even offering them a suspicious beverage with pills in it. At the end, the skateboarder crashes into Tosh's friend, Big Sack, a parody of Rob's best friend, Christopher Big Black Boykin. The sketch is hilarious, but Dyrdek didn't like the idea that his name was being joked about alongside Belia. He tweeted, "The idea of having beef with Daniel Tosh is truly embarrassing. For real. Imagine that, clip show host beef. But the beef is now very real." Followed by, "I am not a comedian or an actor. So unfortunately for Daniel Tosh, we are going to have to settle this the
this thing on
old-fashioned
the
way.
scrub.
Hashtag see you soon. To which Tosh responded, fair enough, but if you have to beat me up, can we film it and put it on my show so people will actually watch it?
This nigga is like literally a little bit like Drake level of pettiness. Because, yeah, I wouldn't even say Kendrick level. He's Drake level of pettiness because it's like, damn, he said motherfuckers ain't even gonna watch your shit even if you try. Damn.
As if threatening physical violence against Tosh wasn't already the worst possible way to react to being hilariously trolled, Tosh absolutely demolished him with that response on
That's what I'm
Twitter.
saying,
Rob did
yeah.
not fire back on Twitter, but he did seem a bit agitated.
Tosh, like, feels like I just watched his show and then decided to do a video show because his show was successful.
I forgot the
which
fucking
it
name
was
of
just
this
so
brand
absurd to me
that Rob
if
did
I
it
did
for.
in fact like look at that and be like, oh, I could do a version of that, which is just so ridiculousness. But I don't know. For whatever reason, he's really butthurt about it. And the idea, he's like a comedian who writes these skits around all this stuff. I just play videos and just get up there and freestyle. I'm not a comedian, So that's really what it stems from, and why he's so like emotional about my show is beyond me. Like it's really insane.
He even suggested he might still be willing to throw hands.
He got out of pocket, and I got a little out of pocket via Twitter, which you don't do, because if you take something personal, you should probably handle it.
Yeah, I heard you said you're gonna beat him up.
I didn't
Rob,
say that.
you kind of did, dude.
I didn't say that. What we like to say is we're putting that behind us.
We're putting it behind. So if you guys like run into each other, it'll be all good.
Yeah, who knows? You never know.
It seemed like most people were siding with Tosh, with one fan explaining, Tosh takes shots at everyone, just like South Park does. It's comedy and poking fun at each other. It's part of it. This is not a controversy or beef. It's a comedy skit. Rob's the one who is butthurt. Tosh has never said anything about his feud with Dyrdek after this controversy. However, we do know that he's not one to apologize.
You want me to apologize? For what? You being a bitch?
We recently got insight that he and his team felt some level of disdain towards Dyrdek and Ridiculousness when YouTuber Roman Atwood recalled a story of the TOSH.O team trying to purchase one of his viral clips.
TOSH.O was calling, and all these shows were calling that I was like, oh my God, like I've never seen anything like this. You guys were in season 1. I believe. Even sooner than
we call for the video?
Yeah, but what happened was Tosh.O.
Tosh battle.
Tosh wanted it, and they said, this is a true story. He said, yeah, Ridiculous is never going to make it past season 1.
TOSH.O's team could not have been more wrong. Even through the rise of social media and decline of traditional cable TV, Ridiculousness remained a dominant show. Even though the viewership declined during episode...
I feel like because it was more on MTV, and like with MTV and how they were like setting everything up, MTV was going to be like way more popular and shit. Comedy Central, to me, when I was like watching that shit, I would only watch Comedy Central sometimes for Tosh or like South Park and Futurama, basically. I would have watched MTV way more though.
Premieres, they would air the show anytime, any day, and people would not change the channel. It's easily digestible content. There is no storyline you have to follow, so it doesn't matter what season or episode you're watching. Even if it's 2 a.m. and you don't have any brain capacity to focus, you could still watch it. Hell, you could probably watch this show with the volume muted and it still might be engaging. Around 2018, Ridiculousness occupied about 60% of the network's time slots, sometimes airing for multiple days straight with no breaks. To celebrate MTV's 40th anniversary, which does stand for music television by the way, they aired Ridiculousness for 24 hours straight. Ridiculousness has produced 42 seasons, having over 1,000 episodes, and likely has hundreds, maybe thousands of more episodes to come. The production company Rob Dyrdek built that produced Ridiculousness, called Super Jacket, he sold to Thrill One Sports and Entertainment for $190 million.
You know what I mean? Like I just go and like freestyle the I'm like it for 30 minutes and it's like, oh, you just did a flawless show where you just made everything up. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really just sort of this fun, fast-paced experience, but make no mistake, It is only for the money.
TOSH.0, on the other hand, was canceled by Comedy Central in 2020, but still it thrived for 12 seasons spanning over a decade during the downfall of cable. It's even more impressive that Tosh basically did everything he could to stay anonymous. Tosh rarely had celebrity guests. He hired a team to run his social media for him. He never did interviews. He never did any box office hit movies. He never did major brand sponsorships. He never collaborated on tours with other comedians. He never jumped on podcasts. He never did a roast. All he did was focus on making the best show possible and ultimately letting his comedy speak for itself, and he had a damn good run. It's unlikely that these two men still hold any animosity towards each other. Yeah. Rob admitted he overreacted, and it's clear that Tosh was just trolling. Just because Rob made a clip show designed for profit doesn't make him a bad guy, especially considering how brutally honest he is about it. Rob Dyrdek gave his fans high quality, amazing content for years via Robin Big and Fantasy Factory, so he is well deserving of his success. Tosh is hilarious, and was hilarious until the very end of his show, and him being a great comedian was all his fans ever wanted from him. So in the end, they both won.
At the end of the day, you hear that beef basically settled because they both end up winning. Yo, saying a show your competitor won't survive after a certain, season is crazy, not gonna lie. But TOSH.0 was it destined to die? No. It was just how everything was set up with MTV was gonna, MTV was building up what they were building up, and Comedy Central wasn't cooking shit. But that's that though. Damn. Beef over nothing. But shit,